Welcome to the Electoral Commission of Queensland's webinar about electoral expenditure caps for third parties for the upcoming 2024 local government elections. A third party is anyone other than a candidate, a registered political party, a group of candidates, or an associated entity. They may be a donor who makes gifts to political parties, candidates, or other election participants, or they may be someone who incurs electoral expenditure for an election, such as by paying for a political advertisement. So what are electoral expenditure caps? Well, they are limitations on the amount of electoral expenditure that can be incurred by an election participant. As a third party, you will have your own electoral expenditure cap, and you will need to make sure that you don't spend more than the capped amount in electoral expenditure for the election. Electoral expenditure caps were introduced for local government elections on the 28th of June 2023 by amendment to the Local Government Electoral Act 2011. They apply not only to third parties, but also to other election participants, such as candidates and registered political parties. Electoral expenditure caps apply during what's called a capped expenditure period. Each local government election has its own capped expenditure period, and for the 2024 local government elections, the capped expenditure period will start on Monday, the 14th of August 2023, and it will end at 6 p.m. on election day, the 16th of March 2024. Any electoral expenditure incurred during this period will count towards your expenditure cap. If you incur electoral expenditure outside this period, it won't count towards your cap, but it will still need to be disclosed to the ecq in accordance with the disclosure requirements under the Local Government Electoral Act. Please have a look at our website for more information about the disclosure requirements for third parties in local government elections. So how much is the electoral expenditure cap for third parties? Well, this differs depending on whether you are formally registered as a third party with the ecq. Third parties who are registered with the ecq are afforded a higher expenditure cap. If you're not registered, your expenditure cap for all of Queensland is only $6,000. So you can't incur more than $6,000 in total electoral expenditure across all local government areas in Queensland. If you spend more than $6,000 or you plan to spend more than this in electoral expenditure for the election, you will need to register as a third party with the ecq before election day. Again, please have a look at our website for more information about the registration requirements for third parties and how to register a third party with the ecq. The electoral expenditure caps for registered third parties vary on a sliding scale based on the number of electors in a local government area. You'll need to check the ecq's website to find your capped amount for each local government area. For the 2024 local government elections, the capped amounts will be published before the capped expenditure period starts on the 14th of August 2023, most likely in mid to late July. Your cap will be the same as that of a mayoral candidate for whichever local government area in which you are incurring electoral expenditure. So if you're incurring electoral expenditure in the Sunshine Coast, for example, you will have the same expenditure cap as a candidate running for mayor of the Sunshine Coast. Unlike unregistered third parties, where the $6,000 cap applies to all of Queensland, registered third parties will have separate caps for each local government area, and these caps can't be combined. If you spend money on advertising or another material that communicates generally with electors in more than one local government area, this expenditure will count towards the caps of each of the local government areas. So here we have an example on how electoral expenditure caps apply if a registered third party incurs electoral expenditure in more than one local government area. So we have registered third party A spending $10,000 on a television advertisement that's broadcast to electors in two local government areas, so local government area X and local government area Y. In this scenario, the electoral expenditure caps for a registered third party are $10,000 for local government area X and $50,000 for local government area Y. Because the television ad that the registered third party paid for was seen generally by electors in both areas, The $10,000 that the registered third party spent on the ad will count towards the third party's expenditure caps in both areas. As such, the registered third party A has already reached their electoral expenditure cap in local government area X, and they can't incur any more electoral expenditure in this area for the election. They still have up to $40,000 to play with in electoral expenditure for local government area Y, but they can't redistribute this expenditure to local government area X or any other local government area. So they can't say, take $20,000 of what's remaining in their cap for local government area Y and use it to pay for electoral expenditure in local government area X. As stated on the previous slide, the expenditure caps cannot be combined. They apply separately to each local government area where the electoral expenditure is incurred. If you have any questions from this webinar or you'd like to know where you can go to find more information, the ECQ has published a comprehensive range of fact sheets on our website, which you can find at www.ecq.qld.gov.au/factsheets. You can also have a look at the legislation itself. The Local Government Electoral Act 2011 prescribes the expenditure caps for local government elections. Or you can contact our Funding Disclosure and Compliance team. We're very happy to help with any inquiries that you might have. So please send us an email at fad@ecq.qld.gov.au, or you can call us on 1300 881 665. Just remembering that we can only provide you with general advice. So if you need any specific advice regarding your obligations for the election, you may need to seek independent legal advice. Thank you very much for watching our webinar. We appreciate your time and we hope the information provided has been useful.